For the role of vice president, or for the roles this can be delegated to, there is lots here that can be set. A lot of it pretty automatically or pretty simple to set up. For example, recognition. There can be a network leader selected from among the members, and there could be a certain reason that this member gets special recognition. Maybe somebody who has strongly exemplified one of the core values. There's also sections for setting new or renewing members. I'll come back to that in another video. The top performing members, this based on new members, renewing members, and passport graduates at the moment are all set the same way through here in Plus. And the way you add them in is the same as the network leader by clicking the drop-down arrow. And you can arrange them in any order. It's probably simplest if you put the new members at the top and then followed by the renewing and then the passport graduate at the bottom. That makes it simpler for the president and having to go through and select. Then at the moment, you can put in for renewing members, you put in the renewing month. And then make sure that you tell the president who is new, who is renewing, and who is graduating from the passport. Although that should be fairly obvious to the president. If the president doesn't really know the member, then it's probably a brand new one. If the person is vaguely familiar, then it's probably going through the passport. And if the president knows the member well, it's probably a renewing member. But still, send the president a note to let the president know who has to appear in which slide. And we'll touch on adjusting those slides in a moment. The top performing members, this based on the traffic lights and the palms, and you could do that once per month or for the year to date. You can select the period. We're going to go with the members who had the most one-to-ones in the last month and pull this off of the palms. And then once here, the numbers can be input. And these can be moved around to be put or displayed in a certain order, highest to lowest, lowest to highest, depending on how you want to do it. Referrals, top CEUs are also all done the same way. Go through, click, select your top 3, put in the numbers. Yes, that can be a little bit awkward to work with. Again, these can be moved around in whatever order you want to do them. Visitors and the thank you for closed business is the same way. Same with the CEUs and the top points. And then when you're done, click Save. And that is how to set the network leaders and other types of recognition in the chapter. There's also the open categories, which the president can set. Click New and can input a variety of categories, one at a time. Once they are all input, the top 3 are starred. They can be rearranged just by dragging and dropping to put any up at the top, and then the top 3 are automatically starred. And these are displayed, as the message says, open categories are displayed in slides or the newsletter in order or randomly. That can be set. Back at the home screen, the chapter performance can also be set. The referrals, we can do last week, last month, year to date, or 12 months. And this is pulled from the Palms. And once all the numbers are in, click Save. There's also a section for chapter goals up here. Click New, give it a short title. And then you can give it a description. For example, using the power of 1, then what the value would be, whether it's going to be a full number, percentage, and so on. We can state what the target is going to be. And then pick a start date, which is by calendar. And then we're going to start, let's say, at 0 and increase that every week. And we click Save. Make sure you get your titles right. And then you can add other goals into this as well. Go into the agenda. Hide or unhide any slides if you have new and renewing members. If you have a new renewing member, you unhide the intro slides. Then they select one new member and then the code of ethics. And if you don't have those and you hide those, if you have one renewing member, you unhide just that slide. If you have a passport graduate, you hide or unhide all of those 3 slides. If you're doing all 3 in the same meeting, just unhide all of them. And if you're not doing any, for example, if you're doing all in a meeting, they would all unhide. If you're not doing any, then hide everything by clicking the I, and then that whole section will not appear. The VP and Membership Committee report, you can hide or unhide the select chapter performance numbers and the all chapter performance numbers. The select chapter performance numbers looks like this, and the all chapter performance numbers puts it into a grid. And it's your choice how you want to display that. And if you're dealing with the chapter goals, this is where you hide and unhide those. Plus, in the membership committee report, there is pending applications. If you have pending applications, you unhide that. And then you go in and update that, where you would type in the name and the seat for whoever is pending. And then when you're done, you click OK and then save. When you don't have pending applications, you click the I and you hide that. This BNI policies and reminders slide is here for the times when you or the membership committee need to say something of policy or some issue. This is kind of a placeholder so that you have the focus of the room or the focus of the meeting, that they're just looking at a generic BNI slide, which is your cue to say what you have to. And if you don't have anything to say for that week, you can hide that slide, or you can keep it up there all the time. Since you as VP are in here anyways, updating, and you have access to all of this information, it would be the simplest if you also updated the pending renewal slide. Even though this comes up during the Secretary Treasurer's renewal report, it's simplest if you as VP go in and update that. To do that, you click on the slide. There's a list of names. You double click to open it. You can delete the past ones, and then you can type in the new one, say OK, and then save. Make sure you save. And if you don't have any pending renewals, you can click to hide that slide.